What's the worst thing about being a man? Always being told to show our feelings more, and then having them ignored, or laughed at if we do. The dismissiveness that I get from people from sharing my emotions or feelings just makes me not want to do it. Then, when I am quiet or silent, I am told that I am manipulative and need to share my emotions. Lose-lose, I guess. No. See, you're supposed to just say how you feel, like a robot, not actually feel it. That way, people can pat themselves on the back for listening, and not have to really understand or sympathize. That I'm still just a little boy inside, who has too many responsibilities now. This is damn relatable. I got bills to pay, a house to maintain, a job I have to show up for, 40 hours a week, but deep down, really all I want is to just go do an adventure. Yeah, I kept waiting to feel like an adult. Now that I'm 30, I realize adults are just grown-up kids. Sometimes I just don't feel like being as swift as a coursing river. How about having the force of a raging fire though? The worst thing for me is how people look at me when I'm around kids. My next door neighbors are lovely people, and they have 3 kids, 7, 9, and 11. The kids love to play soccer, or football, or frisbee, and sometimes when I get home from work, I'll go outside and play with them. It takes a village and all that. When I'm around those kids, when their extended family is around, the extended family looks at me like I'm a pedo. The kids run up and hug me and stuff, and drag me outside to play with them. The scorn and disdain from the aunts and uncles is profound. And then they'll hear the kids call my name, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's you." They talk about you all the time, and it's suddenly okay. But those looks I get bug me. The initial reaction of other adults is to assume that something evil and disgusting is happening, as though their parents would just let that happen. It just sucks to work hard, trying to be a good human, and have people look at you like you're the lowest of the low. I'm just imagining these kids coming over and ringing your doorbell. Then they ask if you can come out and play, like they would with another one of their friends who has to ask their parents. And your response is just, "You're goddamn right I can." And they are all in awe, because you didn't have to yell and ask your parents permission to go outside. LOL. Having the expectation to always keep my shit together. Being vulnerable is a weakness. Failing is not an option. Provide, regardless of the state of your overall health. This is a huge one. Probably the biggest one. If you're in a bad place, no one cares. You're expected to never be in a bad place. And if you tell people, they just ignore it and act like it's nothing. Plus, there's nowhere to go easily if you are in a bad place. We are often told to seek help, but where, and with whom? Here, everywhere. I mean seriously, does it have to come out of my ears? Body, you're getting older now. What would you like to ease the burden? Me, oh, I dunno. Knee lubricant? Body, hair out of the ears it is. First time my barber used clippers on my ear, I died a little inside. That no matter what we do, we're never an actual parent in other people's eyes. My family and co-workers referred to me taking care of my daughter while my wife's out of town as babysitting instead of, you know, parenting. Mother-in-law always tried to take my daughter when she was colicky and I was holding her, like, A, it was my fault, or B, that I didn't know what I was doing. Every time I'm the one taking my daughter to functions, I get the evil eye from half the moms, like I don't belong there. There's some shit dads out there, but they don't get the type of abuse as those of us who actually do the job. I was on a 10-hour flight once, with my 1-year-old, and after about 9 hours, he was over it. So many women came up to me explaining what I should do to calm him down. Have you fed him? Maybe his diaper needs to be changed. Do you want me to hold him? Like, come on. I know my kid. He just wants off this thing. I know they meant well, but I doubt they'd do that to another woman. Mumsplaining. LOL. Male pattern baldness. Deciding whether I just buzz it right now. If you have to ask the question, the answer is yes. Trust me, my self-confidence and success with women went up after I started shaving my head. Try to grow a beard too, if you can. Harsh truth. Some women will flat out not be interested in a bald man. Period. But, in my experience, most women don't care a lot, especially ones in their mid-20s and up. Growing up, it was expected that we were supposed to ask the ladies out, so if you found yourself as a 25-year-old virgin who never kissed a girl, it was obviously because you were some kind of loser. Yeah, this was absolutely by far the worst thing about being a guy for me, was a virgin until my late 20s, and miserable about it the whole time. The amount of self-loathing and low self-esteem is off the charts. Your genitals during summer. Wish they had a better design. My god, yes. The sweat, the sticking to thighs, the awkward strut while trying to fix it, without being labeled a perv, the everlasting itch, if you dare shave, getting jock itch, if you don't ventilate, and do not forget, the occasional sitting down and a testicle slips into the right position, and you sit on the fricking thing. Instant pain. Dating, and having to initiate everything with women fricking sucks. I might just say F it, and not try to find anyone. I'm starting to think that staying single is a better life. I bought a man flowers once, as initiation. Had them sent to our war, and got to watch, as he received them at his desk, a dozen long stem roses. I'd never seen a man so happy. We've been married for almost 12 years now. One of the reasons I did it was because no man had ever given me flowers, and I figured, give the person I want to date the thing no one ever gave me. Being short gets us the manlet label. I'm 5'6". No matter what my accomplishments are, everything is me compensating. I like to think I'm a pretty progressive guy. My girlfriend and I have been together 5 years and have 2 children together. She makes more money, $100k versus my $45k. I've always had to be more flexible in my jobs, to be there to accommodate for her 12-hour shifts, and get my kids to school, take care of them when she's gone, etc. By working close to home, and working half days some days, or coming in late and leaving early from work other days. We're now separating, because she's constantly putting me down that I don't make as much money as her, when I've dedicated my time to be a good father and take on more of the child care. She's now complaining that she's supporting me financially, and holding her back, and letting her take on all the responsibility, while she literally could not do the work she does if I was not flexible in my schedule to take care of our children. It seems to me like women want praise for taking on childcare when the man makes more money, which they absolutely deserve, but it's not acceptable when it's the other way around. I'm supposed to prioritize making a ton of money and just pay for babysitters and more daycare, and not be there for my kids. It's a very confusing time for men and our identities. Where do we go from here? Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for another new video tomorrow.